Spokane has never, ever, ever seen weather like this. This is literally insane, but it is what it is. Goodbye, Bobby. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna go put E85 in the car. Let's go. E69, E70, which isn't bad. There's still a little bit of pump gas left in this thing, but I'm going to let this thing run through a little bit, go drive around, park it a few times, see if she'll fire up much easier on E versus pump. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, this car is having starting issues. I think it's only on pump gas. First start, let's see what happens. Freaking beautiful. Check engine light flashes, and all that's doing is adjusting the ECU for the ethanol content that is in the car, because it's on flex fuel. But did you guys hear that? Money. Let's try again for fun. What? Why? Didn't require any gas pedal actions? Huh. We have a lot of packages in the back of this thing. I got some exciting news. Let's head in. Go outside, bruh. I'm trying to help you. We have 3 packages. There should be 4, but FedEx decided that we didn't need the 4th package today or yesterday. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday and then today. Now it says tomorrow. And that's a very vital component of what we're about to start. Also, another big sponsor. I'm very blessed to say that we have been able to work out a deal with Radium. If you don't know who Radium or what Radium produces, let me show you. Oh boy. Oh boy. More shirts. We love shirts. It is too hot to wear a shirt. I'm not gonna wear a shirt today. Life is amazing, boys. If you follow your dreams and you work really hard, someday you may be able to get sponsored by Radium as well, or Exedi, or any other amazing company. For real though, I know that sounded cheesy, or maybe it was weird sounding, but I'm just being honest. It's absolutely mind-blowing looking back like 4 years ago when I started this whole YouTube journey and seeing how far or what it's transformed into. Having a shop, building cars as a job and as a career, and getting to share it all with you guys. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And then on top of that, having these amazing sponsors help out with the builds, crazy. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You guys watching would not be possible without all your guys' support and love and generosity. So in this box, we have a fuel system for the Evo 8, or part of the fuel system for our Evo 8. We made a lot of power on pump gas, 550 or 560. It is time for E85. And you may be wondering why we are doing this now. We just put in a fuel pump and injectors and some other stuff into that car. But Spokane, as of very recently, just got E85, as you guys saw. We just filled up the 10. So it is time to go from a single Walbro 450 and our, I think, 1200s in there, to a dual hanger setup supplied by Radium. Thank you guys. -8 feed, -6 return, fuel lines all the way from the pump to the fuel rail. As soon as FedEx decides to deliver our DHWorks package, we're going to DW 2200s, so almost twice the size of injectors, 2 340 LPH pumps. They're DW 300s, but they're 340 LPH pumps, nearly double the pump and nearly double the fuel line size, and a new regulator and a new fuel rail. We're doubling the fuel system on the Evo 8. Let's just make it easy. Also got another package from my boys over at JD Customs and from MAP. We'll get that sorted later. And I believe this guy is for the FRS Turbski build. Beautiful. Let's get this party started. We got to get the car up in the air. I'm doing a lot of new stuff these days. The other day we did a multi-disc clutch. Never done that before. And now today we're gonna run fuel lines from the pump to the rail. And I've never done that before either. Let's get a little cold start for the boys and get this thing up in the air, up on the lift, and get started. Also, if anyone has a 5-speed tranny for sale, I would like to purchase it. I don't think the 6-speed's gonna handle 700 plus. Just an observation or a guesstimate. That was really zoomed in, wasn't it? I'm not gonna lie, kind of stressed out right now. I've never done all these lines before, and while Radium has a very, very good write-up online, it's still a little bit confusing to me, but we will get this figured out, just a matter of time. We have the car up in the air. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drain some fuel out of the tank, or maybe just pull all the fuel out of the tank. I did notice on the instructions that they did recommend to drop the fuel tank down a little bit, just so it's a little bit easier to work with all of these fuel lines. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I believe this guy right here is the plug or the drain on the tank. Being that this is at least like 500 bucks in fuel, I was hoping to reuse it. We got about 3 gallons there, but it's a little bit dirty, a little bit contaminated, kind of sketchy to reuse it, honestly. It is definitely tempting though with today's freaking gas prices. I'm gonna get the car down and we're gonna pull out, I think we could go ahead, pull out the factory or the pump that we have in here now with the factory hanger. And then from there, we can start doing all the lines. I'm pretty much just going off of Radium's instruction sheet. And just gonna follow that step by step. We need to go ahead, pull out the bottom of the rear seat, and then we'll have access to the fuel pump cover, pull that off, and then we'll have access to the fuel pump. Okay, we got the pump out. There are a few things off this pump that we're gonna need. 2 things actually, the rubber gasket and then the fuel level sender. We'll deal with that hopefully tomorrow when FedEx delivers our package. I do not want a bunch of gunk getting in our fuel tank. What we're gonna do is grab our Radium hanger and kind of just set it down in there so stuff don't get in the tank and we can get everything plumbed up how it needs to be plumbed. Oh, that thing is freaking beautiful. So this right here is the dual hanger. So we can stuff 2 fuel pumps in here. That is gonna be nice. Look how freaking beautiful it is. Sheesh. Beautiful Radium hanger is chilling where she needs to chill. I am going to drop that tank down a little bit and then we can hopefully get all these. I think there's only 1 hose to run, pretty sure. There were 4 14 mil nuts total. They were a bit crusty. Thankfully, they didn't break, so we're good. There's this little line right here that needs to be removed, so we got that guy off. I believe all we need from this line right here is one of the fittings, and it looks like it's the fitting with the blue tabs on it. They might be the same, but I'm gonna grab that one. This O-ring, we do not need either, so go ahead, grab that guy. Nope, she tore. So this factory line, we don't need. I'm gonna keep it around for now just in case we need that fitting for something else. We do need this fitting though. So this fitting goes on this 5AN or this 5/16 fuel line that they included. So we're gonna slide that guy in there and then they have a provided clamp that we're gonna clamp it down with. Now we have to put it back on that line right there, so that's where it originally came off of. We're gonna clip that end on right there and then just leave the other side for now. We can deal with that later on. Moving on to the feed and the return. The current feed, the stock feed on the car is a -6, and I think the return is a 1/4 inch or something weird like that. So the factory feed is now gonna end up as our new return line. And then we're gonna run this -8 radium line as our feed line. We do have our filter. So that is the first thing we're gonna work on, is getting our filter mounted up on that mount, and we gotta get that guy onto the car. We have these two fittings right here, -10 ORB to a -8 AN. So we're gonna put these guys onto the filter. I would recommend just a touch of lube on those O-rings. This guy here is the filter mount. So we're gonna take our filter clamps, we're gonna screw this onto the mount, get the filter inside of there, and then screw this guy over it, clamping it down so she ain't floppy. Let's get this bad boy mounted up. Very, very simple to do. Come under the car, we are gonna remove this bolt here, that bolt right there, and that bolt right there. They also said to pop that plug out, so I popped it out. We got those 3 bolts out. This guy right here, all we did is take it out, flip it around, put it back in. So that's how it should look. Let's grab these 3 supplied Allen heads and our filter assembly and get this thing mounted up. Okay, now we need to make some room for our -8 feed line. I think if I'm reading the instructions right, there's a little tab on the edge of this gas tank right here. We have to temporarily remove the e-brake cable, ABS connectors, and then the fuel lines, and bend that tab down. So let's get all that situated, get some clearance up in there, and we can run our fuel line. With all of our newfound clearance through that tank, we're gonna run the first line. So this line right here is gonna run from the fuel pump down to the fuel filter, and it's the line with one straight end and 120-degree end. The straight end is gonna go to the filter, that end is gonna go to the pump. Okay, so as of right now, everything underneath the car should be pretty much completed. We have the gas tank mounted back up. The -8, or the 8 AN line runs where we bent the tab, comes down right here. Zip tighter on the factory hard lines, goes into the filter, comes out of the filter, and then the other 8 AN line runs up into the engine bay. So now we can lower the car down, and we can go ahead and get everything situated for when all the other Deechworks parts show up. All right, looking at everything with the fuel pump, I think I got it all figured out. I may have to do a little bit of reading on the instruction sheet. Pretty sure that line's gonna go there. This line right here is the return. That's gonna loop around, go there. This is the feed, the -8. That's gonna go there. We do have to swap out some fittings on our hanger because the fittings on here are for the factory lines. Easy enough to do. We can do that tomorrow. And of course, we still need to wire it. But moving on to the engine bay. Let's get all this situated real quick, or as much of it as we can. Up in the bay, it's quite simple. Here's our -8 line that we just ran. So that is gonna connect to our new fuel rail. As you can see right now, we just have the stock one, and that won't connect to the stock one. So we can get that connected to our stock, or the new rail. And then being that the current feed is now the new return, this is our current feed line. Well, here's a good example. Look at that comparison. Current feed line, the new feed line. Absolutely bonkers. Anyways, we're gonna pull off this factory line that runs from right here, and she runs down to right there. So we need to unscrew that, and in place of it is gonna go this fitting right here. Now we are going to take, let's say, a straight fitting here. This side will go on to our 6 AN hose, and then the threaded side will go onto our green fitting that we just installed. Should look like that when you're all finished up. There is nothing else we can do until we get our Deechworks package. If FedEx doesn't show up tomorrow, I don't really know what we're gonna do, but I'm hoping they do. So I'll pick this video back up tomorrow, we can get the rest of the fuel system installed. This is gonna be crazy. This car's gonna haul balls. FedEx finally showed up, got to the shop. Yesterday was warm, or hot, like pretty freaking hot. Today is hot as balls. So I'm gonna open up this package, make sure everything that we got is what we needed, and we're gonna go to the lake real quick. Let it cool off a little bit, come back tonight, open up the shop door, let it cool off in here, because even just hanging up all of these banners, I'm sweating my freaking nuts off. So we just added the ETS banner, Radium banner, and then my favorite banner of all. Are you currently sweating your nuts off?
Yes.
This is the biggest fuel system I've ever done, you know that?
Like most intense, like normally.
I don't even remember what we got. We got some, what is this? Doesn't say.
DW300, probably.
Oh yeah, we got two pumps. I always forget we got two pumps instead of one. So this is a, yeah, DW300. So we got one of those. We got two of those. So we got two DW300s, which are actually 340 LPH, and then some big old injectors. These are DW22 freaking hundreds. We run 2000s in the 10, but we're going for a little more power than the 10 makes, just a little bit. So we got all that stuff. No banner, shit. And I'm guessing this is the rail. Dude, that thing's actually like freaking nice. Excellent billetry. We'll figure it out. All right, let's go to the lake. It's hot as balls. Shit.
No smoke?
No smoke.
What's up, boo?
He better have a claw. Shit, all I need is one something. Dude, you got a truly, can I have this? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? What's up?
Hi.
Say hi to the YouTube boys.
Hi, YouTube boys.
Ah,
hello.
What's up, guys? It's now the next day. Went to the lake, had a little too much fun, and we just stayed out there all freaking day. We never came back to the shop to work. Let's go ahead and get all of these parts installed on the car. I really want to get the first startup done today. So as long as we have all the right stuff, all the right fittings, I know we need like -6 to -8 adapters. So as long as we have all that stuff, we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and get the fuel pump hanger installed with the pumps, get everything wired up back there, and then we can move on to the injectors, rail, regulator, all that good stuff we got to do in the engine bay. Okay, so here's the parts that we need. We have both fuel pumps, both DW300s, the hanger kit from Radium. This currently is set up for just one fuel pump. As you can see, there's only wiring for one fuel pump and the hose for one pump as well. So we need to pull that plug out, and we're going to replace that with a setup like that, which they included all of that stuff in the Radium hanger kit. And then we also need to get this wiring installed onto the hanger, just how it's installed for that side right there. So if you flip it over, it shows you this is pump 1, ground and power. This will be pump 2, ground and power. Easy enough. They make this way too freaking simple. We just ran into our first issue. These DW300 pumps will not work. Let me show you guys why. Long story short, they are way too tall for the Radium hanger, because this bracket holds all the pumps together, or everything internally together. She's supposed to sit like that up top, which that's cool, but look how big of a gap there is right there. So the Walbro, I think the Walbro 450s are much shorter than these DW pumps. So here's what we're gonna do. We can't turn the car all the way up yet. We do have a single Walbro 450 that we can put in there. That's the Walbro 450 that was out of this car in the factory hanger. So I'm gonna pull that out of the factory hanger, get it into the Radium hanger so we can have everything going, everything working. And then as soon as the second Walbro 450 shows up, we can get that installed and turn this car all the way up. So that's what we're gonna do. Kind of sucks we can't use these DW300s because then we have them. It is what it is. But we're gonna make this work. We're gonna figure it out. Thankfully, we have one single pump in here, so we can at least run this car for now. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do with this freaking fuel pump today. Here's why. I'm really stressed out right now. There's two different kits from what I understand for the radium hanger. We have the kit for the AEM pumps, which would technically be set up like the DW pumps. If you're gonna use the Walbro 450s, you need to get that kit because it's a little bit different of a setup. Let me pop over to the computer and show you guys. We need those little collars and we don't have them. So there's no way we can run the car today or start the car today. Kind of sucks. But I guess we can move on to everything in the engine bay. I was really hoping to drive this thing today. I'm annoyed now. Let's pull this thing apart. We gotta pull off our factory rail, take our little boy injectors out, and we can get all the new stuff installed. I just realized something. We can indeed use our DW pumps, which is nice, because check this out. They're the same length overall as the Walbro pumps. So if we had the Walbro install kit, I think we should be good. So that's all we're gonna need. I'm gonna try to hit up Radium, get those things overnighted so we can get this car back on the road. Well, today's Sunday, so it'd be like Tuesday. So it's not gonna set us back too far, but yeah, let's move on to the injectors and rail. Here's our old injectors with the factory wiring. The DW 2200s require us to throw on some new connectors. And then we got the rail off as well. Check out the difference. There's how big the new rail is. There's the stock guy. Sheesh. We got our harness all pulled apart. Let's get these new injector clips soldered on and we'll be good to go. All of our wiring is finished up. Let's go ahead and get the rail and injectors situated. So we need to, let's see, what are we gonna do here? I'm pretty sure this radium regulator will mount right on the end of the DW rail, if I'm not mistaken. We indeed can. So we have both adapters on each side of the rail. She's gonna mount on the car like that. This is the radium regulator, and the regulator is gonna go right into the end of the rail. Pretty nice, clean setup, actually. We have our fitting on for the return line, which is then gonna run over to the stock feed line, if that makes sense. So this guy right here, right out of the regulator, is gonna run down and connect right here. Here is the final look. Dash 8 comes in, that plug right there, we are going to throw our gauge on so we can adjust fuel pressure. DW 2200s over to the radium regulator, and then the dash 6 comes out, runs down, connects to the stock feed. That stock feed then goes, or will go, to our radium hanger with hopefully our 2 DW 300 pumps, if we can get that figured out. Really disappointed that we don't really have the right stuff in right now to get this thing 100% done, finished up, dialed in. But it is what it is. Life must go on. So that's gonna be your wrap for today, my friends. Any and all of the parts that we just installed will be linked down below. Big thank you to DW for sending these parts over, and big thank you to Radium for also sending parts over for the build. Drop a comment down below. Take a wild guess at what this thing's gonna make for horsepower. Precision 6266, fully built motor, some Kelford 280 cams, and obviously now the big fuel system for some nice E85. I'm gonna say like 720, 730 wheel on E85. I'd be happy with anything over 700, to be honest, and then probably around 500 foot-pounds of torque. But drop a comment below, let me know what you guys think it's gonna make. If you have a similar setup, what's she making? I'm excited. This car's gonna be nuts, and it's hot. So I'm out. Peace out.